Hey guys, I'm HOJ, and in today's video we're going to do a couple ladder games with my mono white control deck. Currently I think we're about Diamond 3, but made a couple changes here to the control list. And before we get into it, all the links are going to be in the description: playlists, win rate statistics, and deck lists. Also, if you like this kind of content and you want to see more, consider subscribing or becoming a member for 99 cents a month to get early access to all my new videos. All right, let's jump in. So I wanted to add Virtue of Loyalty. So definitely a shout out to Patricio. Thank you for recommending this. And I do like having a copy in the list. It does provide some nice long game for this matchup against other like control mirrors, things like that. A little bit of an inevitability. So since we're making a bunch of tokens anyways, we might as well start giving them +1/+1 counters every turn and untapping them. For the removal package, I've kind of shifted around a little bit and sort of settled on full play set of Seam Rip at 1 mana. And then we've got a full play set of Aang's Iceberg. I've just been liking this card more and more. It just deals with everything at flash instant speed. And we can also protect our own permanents with it. So if they're trying to go after our Elspeth, we can protect it and then break it out later. And then 3 copies of Parting Gust. I also love this card, but I needed to kind of make a couple cuts in the deck just to make room for other stuff. So we're just settling on 3 copies for the moment. In addition, we have 2 copies of Ultima, which is really nice against like Jeskai artifacts. It can be good against the mono green decks if you manage to catch them with a bunch of lands that are animated, and then just get rid of all of that, send it all the way to the yard. And then with Elspeth, fantastic top end. I had 4 copies at one point, but I just needed to make a couple cuts in the deck to open up slots for other cards. And 4 actually did feel like a little bit too many, so 3 feels pretty good for now. This could change. This is just sort of where I'm at currently. For our draw engine, we have for a full playset of Enduring Innocence and Caretaker's Talent to go with our Voice of Victory to make some tokens every turn, and then power that up. Along with all of our lands, I actually upped the land count to 28 lands. And I had it at 29 at one point, but that was a little ridiculous. But 28 feels pretty good. This deck is just really mana hungry because you've got a full play set of Fountainport, full play set of Abandoned Air Temple to pump everything up once you're making tokens, and then a full play set of Secluded Starforge to start making some other tokens, and especially against like the Azorius control matchup where they like to blow up a lot of our lands. Having some other lands is really nice. And then we've got the Sunken Citadels to help power out those lands, and a couple basics. I did also want to make room for the Graveyard Protection package. We have 2 copies of Rest in Peace. This card has been really nice against like Is It Lessons, Reanimator, just a lot of like weird interactions that are helpful. Like against like mono green, they'll have like the I can't think of it. I think it's Nature's Rhythm, so you can get this out of their yard so they can't cast it again. It's just really nice to have access to it. And then the 3rd copy is a Kutzil's Flanker, which we can also use not only for graveyard hate, but also for just kind of gaining some life, creating a speed bump, fixing our draws a little bit. Rest in Peace is a non-bow with Enduring Innocence, so the plan is to like get this thing killed off in combat and have it as an enchantment before you rest in peace if you can, but you got to do what you got to do. Same thing with Ultima and Enduring Innocence. It's kind of a non-bow, but I mean, these effects are just so powerful that you kind of need them, so that's where we're at. All that said, let's go ahead and jump into a couple games. I've had some just really kind of long, grindy matches with like Dimir control and Golgari control, and the lands just will see you through. You just keep powering out I think I had this one matchup against Golgari where they were literally board wiping every single turn for like 8 turns in a row. It was crazy. But because we had the lands, we could just keep powering out creatures. All right, opening hand looks good. We've got stuff to do on 2 and then a little bit of card advantage on 3. And in case they have a quick start, we've got our Seam Rip ready. Okay, looks like this is potentially Jeskai control. Yeah, or possibly 4-color, you never really know. We are going to walk into the No More Lies, but I mean, it's just some versions of this deck like only run like 1 or 2. Kind of depends. I guess they've got the full play set. We are kind of the aggressor here, so we want to make sure to race as best we can. And then I think I'm going to try to get another voice going before the talent. The nice thing here is that it stops them from like burning it on our turn because they won't be able to cast spells if it resolves. Ooh, we got them to use a 3 steps. That feels pretty good. Anytime we can get them to use 3 steps without getting the extra value is really nice. And they don't have it yet, but they might be trying to set up their yard for like the dragon on 5. And so I kind of think we could go for talent here, which is okay. We can't make any tokens yet, so I think instead I'm going to go for Rest in Peace, just so they can't get any extra value back from their yard. Like if they try to like Helix us at the end of turn or whatever. Because they might try to like Helix us and then like get it back and Helix us again next turn. Then we've got Parting Gust up in case they go for the dragon next turn. Could also use it on the flanker. I mean, I guess we don't really have action yet, so getting rid of it here, they're down to 2 cards. We've got Iceberg for the next thing. I think I'm just going to get rid of it. It does present a little bit of a clock. Yeah, and this Rest in Peace is nice, so it just goes right to exile. So there's no recursion, none of that nonsense. It's also nice against like the Spirit Water Revival out of the Azorius matchup. Even though we won't be able to stop like the card draw, just getting rid of their graveyard is kind of nice too. So less recursion. Okay, let's see if we can get the talent going. We could level it up here. I think I'll wait. It's only a mana. Okay, not quite there yet for the tokens, but we're getting close. They're coming up on Jeskai Rev here, so... Oh, I guess it is 4-color control. Okay. Elspeth is nice. They probably have counters ready, especially after the search, but I think pushing for it is still worth it. Otherwise, like they have Jeskai Rev Up set up for it, which I kind of would like to be able to do like on 7 mana, like voice into Elspeth, just so it resolves, but we can't do anything else here, so I think I'm just going to go for it. Like if we had like a land and could make a token, I'd do that instead. Yeah, there's the Jeskai Rev. So I wonder if they're going to try to close it out on this turn, if they can get enough spells going. Otherwise, we're just going to Ultima. Yeah, I think we still Ultima here, just to kind of clean the board. Again, if they have counters, there's not a lot we can do to play around it. We've been a little bit stalled on land. We could go for like the Aang's Iceberg, but it's a little bit weak. Otherwise, we could go for Seam Rip here. Seam Rip is not a terrible play. Seam Rip into like Iceberg could be all right. Yeah, there's a very good chance they have counters, so that's probably a little bit better. And we're going to go and get rid of the flanker here. We'll wait for them to scry. Could have gone with Iceberg also, but I guess this is kind of nice because it can hit other kinds of permanents. Man, just stuck on land. I think at this point we are forced to go for the Ultima play. We could also do, I suppose we could do like Elspeth into playing tokens and drawing a land. I think, again, there's a pretty good chance they just have us countered here, but I think we got to go for it. Yeah. And I assume they've got us covered here on the next round. Okay, that's going to do it. Yeah, tough beats. That is a tough matchup. It is one of the harder matchups. All right, I like this opener. We've got a couple citadels, a little bit of advantage, and a rest in peace for all those graveyard hate decks. Dimir mid-range, though, is really not one of them. I guess actually rest in peace is good against their, if we manage to kill their Enduring Curiosity. So we could do that. It's not good against these right away, so I might hold off. I might try to get these killed and then play this afterwards. Oh, could be mono black, I guess. Could Seam Rip here and rest in peace. I don't know how much mono black cares about it. I guess it depends on what version of mono black it is. I think I'm just going to go for Innocence here. Okay, if it's mono black aggro, potentially could be good. Yeah, now we can kill this and then rest in peace for it. Could also play Innocence, but I think getting rid of Cecil here is kind of nice. So I think we go for the Rest in Peace play. I suppose we could do like Seamrip plus Innocence would be the other option. Yeah, being able to block this guy actually feels pretty good. Although they have the Nowhere to Run ready. This guy's haste also. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for the Rest in Peace play. I think we'll just let the Saboteur live for now and then try to get Innocence going. This could end us though, but Confidant is also pretty dangerous. Ooh, Bloodletter is nasty. That's actually... Whew, maybe we should have gone for the Saboteur there. Yeah, now they just got us covered. They just get rid of our Innocence. Okay, so we should have gone for the Saboteur. Yeah, because this is going to be 10. Or no, this will be 12. I guess we don't die. Problem is we don't have quite enough here. We would have needed like another land plus the other Iceberg. So unfortunately that is going to do it. I will say I'm still trying to figure out kind of the aggro, how much removal we need and how exactly to play those matchups. Okay, hand is a little slow. We've got 28 land though, so we have a good chance to draw more. Okay, there's another white source, which is great. Up against potentially either Simic aggro, maybe it's, okay, Reanimator, sure. Now we want to hit one of our Kutzil's flankers or Rest in Peace. Let's try to get some advantage going. Okay, that's a land, but it is one that comes in tapped. So they've got Arden to go for. Definitely want to try to get rid of their yard now. Terror of the Peaks is one of the big ways they kill us. And let's just go ahead and gust this one away. Okay, now we can at least draw a card here by making a token. I think we want to hit land drop, so we'll just go for that. Although we have Flanker and they have a yard, and they potentially have a way to bring back Arden, which would be pretty rough. So maybe we're supposed to just do like end of turn on their turn and just miss the land drop. It is a little bit hard, but I think having access to get rid of their yard is pretty important. I don't know. Because yeah, Arden into like Terror of the Peaks is pretty bad. Although they had 4 mana, maybe they would have played it last turn. I think I'm going to go to try to hit land drop here. I don't know if it's right, but just getting land is so important. Like we do have the Aang's Iceberg. We can potentially recover if they go for it. Okay, and they've got it. Okay, we do have a Parting Gust plus Iceberg, which is nice. And it is going to take all of that to try to get back here. The problem is they could... Actually, I guess they don't have a yard yet, so this is probably our best bet. All right, let's go ahead and Parting Gust the Arden. Oh, I guess the timing of that was bad. We should have done this first. Yeah, so that was a mistake. We might want to hold on to this in case we want to like copy it if we draw the other like Caretaker's talent. Okay, Elspeth is nice. But we are getting into territory where we're going to want Ultima. So we could still Parting Gust plus Seam Rip. Maybe if we can draw into a land and hit land. We'll need another white source, but I think it's possible. Otherwise, we just go for Elspeth, make some tokens. They're going to get some value. They probably kill Elspeth. Maybe not. I guess we have 2 Elspeths. Yeah, I think I'm going to do Elspeth here. You could go either way. But it's a little risky if we don't hit like the other white source. Okay, well we would have hit the white source. It's good to know. I think I'm still going to Seam Rip this Bookworm. Could also, end of turn, get rid of the Iceberg to scry. Okay, they've got Awaken for it. Now that we can pump tokens, I think we want to keep our tokens here. Block like that. And let's scry. Do we want more land? I think we want access to Ultima. Especially since they're going to have another Overlord here in a minute. Okay. We'll take land. We don't have quite enough for Elspeth plus token. But we do have enough for Parting Gust. We also have enough for Flanker. No, we don't. Got a pretty good yard. We kind of need the Elspeth to survive. It's not great, but I think we go a turn without having access to Flanker, and we can use this to get rid of the Overlords. Okay, that's a good one, but I think we just want a Parting Gust. We'll wait to their combat step. Yeah, and they've got a pretty stacked hand, so there's a decent chance they could just sort of go for it, but we'll see. Yeah, it's kind of hard because it's like in the matchups where you are up against, where you need the graveyard hate, you kind of really want it to be like down on 2 if you can. The problem is, I mean, like they can get rid of it with stuff like Awaken the Undead. So Kutzil's Flanker does certainly have its place against this kind of deck. Opponent is thinking long and hard about their options. Yeah, Bookworm is like such a good card for their deck. This card is so much trouble. Beginning to wonder if it is timed out here. Okay. I guess now we do want to get rid of one of the Balemercs. Wow, that is timed out. Okay. I mean, we'll take it. Now we can... This is really interesting, actually. I didn't expect this to get here. Okay, let's play voice. Yeah, I think they just full timed out, unfortunately. Okay, that's another good one. I'm wondering if we should make some tokens and then make everything +1/+1 and flying. I kind of like that. So we could do that with these three. We'll be left over with 3 mana and have enough for flanker, so I really like that. Then we can still flanker if we need to. And I think, I'm trying to think if we push with any of them right now. We're at 11. Yeah, I think we probably could. We want like maybe 4 blockers. I guess maybe 5 blockers. Sure. Now we could just get their yard. Do they have anything in there? Yeah, they've got Cavero. So let's just get it in response. I guess if they have like another Cavero in hand plus a bringer, they could still get us here. Oh man. Whew. Maybe we should have waited. Yeah, I suppose even if they got back Cavero, we could still just do it in response. So this was probably a mistake. Gotta be more patient. Yeah, gotta be more patient. Oh, that's on me.
This is not the end.
Pretty sure this is the end. Oh well. Yeah, that was a mistake. We needed to hit Ultima there. Yeah, that's gonna do it, unfortunately. Well, hopefully you guys can see my mistakes so you don't have to make them. But it is humbling. But I don't curate games, so like you guys see whatever happens, whether it's win or lose. I think the deck is good. I think maybe like with the right skilled pilot, someone better than me, they could really make it work. I have had some wins off it, so I do like the deck. Here we just want to set up one of our card advantage cards and then kind of go from there. Unfortunately, we can't Parting Gust this because it is a token. We want the Innocence over the Caretaker's Talent because we need a blocker. If they give this thing flying, we might just be done. Because then they can give it flying and double strike, and that would be quite bad. Yeah, pretty sure like the flight here would be just game or close, depending on what other enchantments they have. Wings of Flight. That's pretty good too. Guess it's not quite lethal. Alright, so now we can go Caretaker's Talent and then level it up after combat for a blocker. I think that's kind of what we're looking at. Again, if they have another piece of removal or give it flying, we're just done. They need either, I guess, Shelter by Ghosts or Wings of Flight. Or Feather of Flight, whatever it's called. That'll do it. I think we're 0-4. This is pretty brutal. So yeah, maybe after this, I cannot recommend the deck, but it's so much fun to play. I really enjoy it. This maybe Raise the Past, looks like. Or Dimir. Oh, this is probably Dimir Bounce. Or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure which version of Dimir this is. do a Caretaker's talent. We could also just do a token on their turn. I guess we get an extra card either. It's the same number of cards. So we could make an extra token here, but we don't really need to. We're not going to get the card draw off it, so maybe we hold. Okay, this is destroyed, but it's not exiled, so that's fine. Now we can make a token on their turn to draw 2 extra cards. Probably, I guess, just a mere mill makes the most sense. All right, let's start with copying the token. Just see what else we draw into. I suppose they could remove it in response. So we could have played like the voice first to ensure. I don't think it's that big a deal though. Now we have enough to play voice and then also make a token next turn. Keep the cards coming. Let's lose one of those. I don't think we need Ultima against them, but I'm just not 100% sure. Okay, so it is the Dimir mill deck. We can Parting Gust our voice. Like, we could draw 2 cards here, which might be great, but I think the voice is pretty important. If they have the river churn, we could be in serious trouble here. We haven't seen... I guess we could draw into Rest in Peace. That's kind of what we're hoping for. Or Kutzil's Flanker, for that matter. Because they probably want to just like untap and do that. So I think... How much mana do we need? 2 mana for that. So we play Enduring Innocence. Yeah, we won't have enough to do that and make a token. So I think we attack and just see what we get. Actually, I guess we could play Innocence first. Yeah, I think that's the play. This gives us the most number of draws. It's like we can't kill them this turn. Fortunately, didn't get there. Yeah, I was hoping to hit Rest in Peace there. All right, let's discard some cards. So if they have River Churn, they get us. But they need that plus untapped mana. Oh, that's fine. We don't really care about that. Guess we could flash in Virtue. It is a spell, though, so they could potentially counter it, so maybe we just make a token instead. I think I like making a token instead because it's guaranteed. Theoretically, at some point, we will draw the Rest in Peace. Haven't yet, but in theory, it's in there. God, we've got 11 cards left and both Rest in Pieces are in there. It's almost defeating the point at this point, but... Alright, so let's just make a token. Guess the cheapest way is Virtue. They could counter it. If they counter it, maybe we want, let's see, I think we want Enduring Innocence first. So then we draw 4 cards. We also have to kill them at some point. 3 draws is pretty good. Let's do Voice to start. So give us 2 draws, and it'll also turn off any kind of spells. There it is. Okay. Really needed that. So now it's uncounterable, which is nice. Now we just got to be careful not to deck ourselves. Can do Virtue. I think we just want to do Innocence here. Actually, let's do Caretaker's Talent, but not level it just yet. Actually, I suppose we could buff our team. That could work too. It's a lot of options. I think we just buff our team. Actually, I suppose we can wait to make a token end of turn, just in case they have like board wipe. So I think we just push for 3 and just do more setup. Okay, we gotta discard 3 cards. So now we just pump the team at the end of the turn to prevent us drawing more cards. I think we got on the board tricks for that. Yeah, River Churn's not going to do it. Now it should do it. Whew, okay, we got to win. On the board. All right, so we ended up going 1 and 4. Not great. It is a fun deck. I really like it. You know, I think it's fun to play. It takes a lot of patience and kind of grinding out. But if you like grinding, I mean, it is fantastic for that. Let's take a quick look at the stats. Yeah, overall, there's been 38 versions. It is now south of 50% win rate, so 49%, 56% on the play, 38% on the draw. Partially, that could be to my play errors. I'm not that used to the deck. I'm not that comfortable with it. Still learning it. So matchups that have been hard, at least for me, have been Izzet. Although with some of the changes, I think that Rest in Peace is going to go a long way at helping in the Izzet matchup. Dimir 50-50. Mono green can just get the jump on us sometimes. Boros is pretty rough for that same reason. But some of the grindier matchups, we do okay against here. So it is a fun deck. Yeah, give it a spin if it's not too many rares to craft. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. If you do like this kind of content, if you want to see more, consider subscribing or joining as a member. We'll see you next time.